Good morning, gamers. Welcome into the Gamers Roast Podcast. I'm your host, Joshua J. Alongside me, Wesley Lance. That was totally our first take.
He said Gramers before, so I made him start over.
Today is February 3rd, 2022.
We're
already a 12th of the way done with the year.
Yep. Yeah.
Hallelujah. This year's already off to an okay start.
Oh, my word. Oh, yeah, because you, almost took a finger off last week.
Oh, yeah. It sucks.
I feel like one of us has been injured every time we've recorded this year. I had wisdom teeth out. Then I had COVID. Then I think last week we were okay. And then you nearly lost a finger this time.
Yeah. And it was literally one of those things where it's oh, probably need to get 10 stitches. I hate needles.
Nope.
I'm not going to the hospital. So I just kind of poured some stuff in it that said it'll stop the bleeding. It did. And then
basically super glue.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, put super glue stuff on it, and now I'm just kind of watching and praying it don't get infected. So, yeah,
fun.
It was nice.
We're really going back to the days of the pioneers.
Oh yeah.
Just hoping that you don't get the gangrene.
But you know what? Here's the thing: if this heals perfectly fine, it cost me $5-10. If I would go into the hospital, they would have done roughly the same thing except stabbed me 20 times. I would have waited for 10 hours, and then they'd have been like, that's $2,000. And I've been like, okay. I mean, our medical system,
This is the state of the American healthcare system where we're just we're going to dump some baby powder on it and some super glue and hope it works, and it's probably going to be just as effective as the hospital.
Exactly. Well, because I saw someone comment on because I was looking on Reddit, and that's where you go when you need medical advice. And people were just I went to the hospital and didn't have insurance and had to get stitches, and it was $2,500 and all this other stuff. And someone commented and goes, your guys' health system is whack. They're they charge you to actually make sure you don't die.
They charge us to call an ambulance.
Yeah.
To just make sure that maybe somebody might be dying.
Yeah. It's just,
when you actually get input from people from other countries about our healthcare system via things like Reddit, you're wait a second. Now, granted, there are things about socialized healthcare that are also dangerous. Waiting lists for transplants are a lot higher. Taxes do go up because everybody pays into the healthcare system.
Right.
That part I'm actually not upset about because I would rather pay. It's like an insurance thing. You pay into it over time, but then when you need it, it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg.
Right. And if you don't need it, you rest assured in the fact that you've helped someone else, like a family member that possibly needed it. I don't know.
Oh, gosh. We're sounding more and more socialist as we get older. I don't like that. I'm not a socialist.
Me neither.
am not a capitalist either. I don't know anything.
I want all the good things of capitalism and all the good things of socialism. Can we mix those together? But they don't actually mix.
So that reminds me of a sketch I saw one time. It was it portrayed the Democrats and the Republicans as two parents in marriage counseling fighting over their daughter, America. And so at one point they're the Republicans are come over to Daddy's house, honey. We get low low taxes, low spending. And the Democrats are we over at Mommy's house we've got high taxes, high spending. And America just takes the low taxes and the high spending. She's cool. And the judge is you can't just let her cherry pick like that.
It's true though. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like trying to mix it is I love steak. And I love apple pie, but I'm not going to put them both in a blender and drink it. You got to choose.
I'm sorry, what?
You want the steak or you want the pie?
You can have the steak and then the pie. You can have your steak and pie too. Steak and apple pie actually sounds like a very American meal.
Yes, but I'm saying you can't mix it together.
You can't mix it together. Got it.
You can have your socialism after you have your capitalism. You can get super rich and then go to a socialist area, but then I think they would probably just take your monies.
Yeah, you wouldn't be super popular, I imagine. Granted, you're not super popular in America either, so.
That's true.
Welcome to the Gamers Roast Economics. Welcome to the Gamers Economics Podcast.
Where we talk about everything except video games.
Also, don't take any of our advice because neither of us know what we're talking about.
Nope, not at all. I've lost a decent amount of money in stocks, which I'm assuming a lot of us have because stocks.
I don't have any stocks.
You are beating the system.
No, I'm not. I'm ignoring the system.
I've lost hundreds of dollars in stocks. You've lost how many?
I haven't gotten any either.
Exactly. So you've lost no monies in stocks.
Low risk, low reward. That's the way I live my life.
High risk, lost it all.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
All right. Anyway,
On a slightly more uplifting note, we have another like cool coffee this week that's like doing good stuff.
totally not my brand. It's Victory Blend. That's not something I
Okay.
get.
It's Rescue Coffee. It's Rescue Coffee Roasters.
You me. But yeah, it looks really cool. I love the packaging. I like the. I don't know. It just looks fun.
Yeah.
Coffee can look fun.
They partner with Adult and Teen Challenge both in, I think, Uganda, West Africa, Liberia, sorry. So they partner with Teen Challenge in Liberia as well as Adult and Teen Challenge in Northern Indiana, right here. We actually know a couple people who have come through the Teen Challenge program, and they rave about it. Like, I know, so Teen Challenge has gotten some critique because every individual Teen Challenge is different.
You made me restart. Did you say criticism and critique at the same time?
Did I? I don't know.
It sounded like it like mixed the two words. I was like, huh?
I meant critique. It's gotten some criticism over the years because some of them have been not great, but like every Teen Challenge is different. And the one that this is working with, I've been there. It's a really cool facility. It's like state of the art. The guys seem like they really, really like are changed, like legitimately changed. So if you've got any preconceived notions about Teen Challenge, that might be true about other places, but this place is really good. We know the people who've run it. It's a really cool place. And this coffee partners with Teen Challenge in Liberia, as well as this one here to help guys get out of like substance abuse and addiction and to all kinds of things. So rescueroasters.org. It's cool coffee. We haven't tried it yet.
Yeah.
But we're going to give it a shot.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I had a couple people that went there, and it's a really good organization.
Yeah.
Hopefully their coffee's as good as they are.
Okay. It's not quite on the level of 3 avocados for me, but that coffee kind of ruined a lot of other coffees
like
for me.
2 avocados.
I will say it's a little bolder than the 3 avocados. It has a little bit more of a robust flavor. Definitely more of that sour taste that I don't like from Starbucks.
That's more in the aftertaste too.
Yeah. But the actual flavor is pretty good. It's a really bold roast. So if you've bought 3 avocados and you didn't share our opinion, you thought it was a little weak for you, this is actually a little bit more robust, a little bit bolder, a little bit more bitey. So if you like that sort of thing, then what did you just do? Don't do it again. Never mind. If you like that more sour, bitey taste, this has definitely got more of that. Are you gonna collect yourself?
I like the avocados definitely way better. I'm just going to go right into a rating. I would say it'd probably be about 5 for me.
I'd go a 6, I think. What did I give? I gave avocados an 8, didn't I? I think I gave avocados an 8.
We rate so many coffees.
I know.
The board is all over the place.
We really should write these down, honestly.
Well, I thought Michaela was going to keep doing it.
And then she didn't.
And I took it for granted. I'm so sorry.
You can't just assume that she's going to be our secretary, Josh.
I said granite. I meant granted.
Take it for granted. So it's still, I still think that if you're in the need for something that's got a little bit more oomph to it, this is pretty good. And again, it's a good cause. Like, I like supporting coffees that have good causes. This is fair traded, goes to help people get out of substance abuse. It's a good organization. So I think I'd recommend it. I would probably recommend the 3 avocados still over it. But if you're in the need of something new,
and I feel bad saying it, but 3 avocados
I do too.
It's a good organization.
I feel like we're like pitting like nonprofits against each other. Like, who is doing the best good while making the best product?
Like, it's like, okay, you helped, 5.
You're helping children with cancer.
Nice.
You're helping people get out of substance abuse.
All right, like, okay, who has the better coffee? This is what we're doing. Like,
it feels very shallow. So you really can't go wrong with either one. But on my personal taste, I would go with 3 avocados. But I like a smoother blend.
Agreed. I totally agree. By the way, that coffee, if you were not here for last episode, first off, go watch it. Second off, it does not have anything to do with avocados.
Oh, yeah. So real quick story. I completely botched that last week. The story comes from these 3 people who I think they were working in Nicaragua. I think it was Nicaragua. And they went to a church service, and at the offering, this old lady brought 3 avocados as her offering to help feed the pastor. And it reminded them of Jesus' parable of the widow's mites, saying that this lady has brought everything she has to support the servant of God. And they're like, we need to help these people get water. So they named the 3 avocados after her offering, which I think is kind of a cool story.
We need help them get water. Make it coffee. Okay. We got them coffee. It's like, can we have water, please? Coffee.
No, they're growing the coffee, and then all of the proceeds of 3 Avocados goes to clean water initiatives. So, cool. This is 2 coffees now that we've got that are like actively helping people, and I feel good about it.
Yeah, it is really good. And I'm excited for our next week's coffee as well. So.
I forgot we talked about that. Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry,
but you don't know. Haha.
But yeah, it'll be good. I'm excited to try it. It was a personal recommendation from a friend of ours.
Oh, wait. I was getting ready to just jump right on into the news.
You always skip my job.
I know.
You always
I'm
skip
so
it.
sorry. I'm sorry.
So remember how last week was my angriest roast that I've ever had?
Yes.
This one is not going to be quite to that level, but it's still going to be angry.
Should I mute my part?
I don't know that I'm going to scream like I did last week, but oh boy. All right. PCGamer.com. Unofficial Minecraft NFT game Blockverse disappears with more than $1 million. The project creators resurfaced to say they didn't really pull the rug, but the project itself and the money are still gone. $1 million in NFTs gone. So for anybody who's wondering why I find NFTs frustrating, they're like, well, it's no different than like microtransactions. Yes, it is different because the money we're dealing with is so much higher. The value is so much lower. And the people are so much worse. Let us continue, my friends.
Real quick.
What?
You said they put it back. It's like they yanked the, like, almost like a tablecloth off a table, and your mom walks in, and she's like, what? And you're like, shaking it out, clean it, putting it back, don't worry.
But like put it over everything.
Right,
you're not actually setting the table again.
I was just trying to clean it. It's all for you. I was doing it for you. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, so here we go. This is a really long article, so I'm not going to read the whole thing. But yeah, this is Andy Chalk on PCGamer.com. Another day, another NFT rug pull. This one purportedly perpetrated. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate that. This one purportedly perpetrated earlier this week by Blockverse and on a quote, an on-chain Ethereum NFT that enables a unique P2E on Minecraft like no other, unquote. Essentially a play-to-earn PvP Minecraft server with access restricted to those who owned a relevant token. Enthusiasm for Blockverse was high. The initial supply of 10,000 NFTs priced at 0.05 Ethereum, currently $124 each, reportedly sold out in less than 8 minutes. But just a couple days later, the project creators deleted their website, Discord server, and game server and disappeared with the money. It's a substantial sum of cash. The initial supply sale notched up 500 Ethereum, which works out to more than $1.2 million, according to NFT Ethics, which tracks blockchain-related malfeasance on Twitter. Andy, what is up with these words, dude? Blockchain-related malfeasance on Twitter. There have been 792 Ethereum in secondary sales, unquote. That is, sales made by the purchasers of the original 10,000 Blockverse NFTs to other people. So again, that's kind of the whole NFT thing, is you buy it, you sell it for more. The Blockverse owners earn a percentage on each of those sales as well. OpenSea now shows secondary sales at 794 Ethereum. After 3 days of silence, this is where it gets juicy, and this is where I get really angry. After 3 days of silence, the Blockverse founders resurfaced on Twitter to apologize and explain their actions. They claimed that everything was legitimate and going well, and that after the launch of their NFTs, they returned to work developing and expanding Blockverse. But shortly after the first round of NFTs sold out, they began receiving complaints about, quote, gas fees, unquote, a service charged for generating, buying, or selling NFTs being too high, inadequate player capacity on the Minecraft server, and a lack of utility for the diamond tokens generated by the game. I've never heard this. Quote, the FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt quickly descended into harassment, threats, and doxing, unquote, the creators wrote. Quote, the team noticed all this and panicked, deleting the Discord server on impulse. Everything else was closed to prevent the continuation of harassment that had occurred so far. Even then, the plan was to reopen once everyone had time to calm down, unquote. Quote, there is absolutely no reason for us to leave permanently as all the technical work and infrastructure for the project thus far has been already put in place. It was actually more work to take things down than to leave it up. But again, everything was done in the interest of protecting personal safety, unquote. The planned return to action hasn't happened yet, however, quote, because it seems the situation has only worsened since they disappeared. Really? Why do you think that is, Blockverse? I feel like that would have been a predictable outcome. This is Andy speaking. I'm back into the article. I feel like that would have been a predictable outcome in the wake of more than $1 million, possibly quite a lot more, suddenly vanishing along with the people it was entrusted to. But regardless of that, they say that the Discord and Minecraft servers will be restored in the next few days and development will continue. Quote, we are disappointed that the community jumped to false accusations so quickly, but we still believe in our project. And in order for everyone else to regain that faith, we are in talks with professionals in the space about how we may proceed, unquote, the Blockverse team wrote. Quote, our intention is to work with other trusted developers and community members, granting them access to our website, servers, and all of the back-end infrastructure so that there is no risk in people's mind of the project going offline. We're aware of how much damage we've caused already, but we hope that this gesture towards the community can help us get back on track, unquote. I'm going to go just a little bit farther because the community fought back. The message doesn't appear to have convinced many followers. Some expressed relief that they haven't been completely hung up to dry, but there's plenty of doubt that the project will actually carry forward. Several replies also expressed the belief that Blockverse developers only resurfaced because they'd been tracked down and are now trying to extricate themselves from potential legal trouble. Members of the Blockverse community that I spoke to on a Discord support server said the same thing. Quote, we have a bit of a paper trail. We have a Coinbase address that funded a lot of stuff and a Cloudflare IP, unquote, they said. Quote, they thought they got away and now they know that we have the trail that they left, unquote. And he goes on to say that essentially they're negotiating with it to say that the people that bought the NFTs are going to take over the server and they want at least part of the money back, if not all of it. But they're saying just give us some of the money back. We'll run the server. So once again, we see that just like, and I feel like NFTs get a bad rap because they implicate the worst of humanity. Like if it wasn't NFTs, it would be something else, but it just happens to be NFTs bringing out this part of humanity again.
I feel like I need to change my analogy. This is like yanking the nice tablecloth off the table, all the stuff hitting the ground, your mom going, what'd you do? And you looking at her going, how dare you? I'm cleaning this.
Yes.
And putting it right back on and be like, you judge me? Huh.
Yes.
Huh.
Yes.
It's like,
the fact that they said we're disappointed that the community jumped to conclusions when we ran away with over $1 million and disappeared off the face of the earth. What do you think they're going to jump to?
It's like, if okay, I could make a lot of money if I was their marketing guy. Like you at least, I could do way better. Like you at least have to just say, look, we understand how this looks. And you guys were correct to jump to conclusions because I would have done the same thing in your position. That being said, we want to assure you this is not what's happened. I know it looks that way. We got rid of the people that took the Discord thing offline. They jumped to, conclusions as well. Like,
yeah,
look.
Yeah, who jumped to conclusions?
It's like, we get it. It looked horrible. But we're back now, and we're not going to change it. Okay? That being said, here is a 5-step plan of exactly what we're going to do. Here is everything you need to know to track us down if this ever happens again, just so you know we're not doing that. It's like they could have definitely
they could have.
You guys jumped to conclusions. Shame on you.
And I think what's really frustrating about it is they said that the reason they deleted it is because people were reacting to the gas fees of they bought Ethereum and they were being charged extra for it's like a processing fee, which I think it's interesting they call it gas fees because NFTs are also destroying the environment. So, it's appropriate. But people were reacting to the really high charge for buying NFTs, which I understand to a certain extent. You have to know that there's going to be surcharges, convenience fees, that sort of thing. But it doesn't say whether or not those were communicated up front. Given the way the rest of this thing was, I wouldn't be surprised if they were not. But they say that those devolved into doxing. But if you're going to be charging people that much extra without telling them, you got to expect some backlash. And then they just freaked out and deleted everything. Why is that your reaction? I don't understand how being on an anonymous Discord server is it's a threat to personal security. Unless you've got your personal contact information up there. How is deleting the Discord server going to stop people from finding you?
Okay, I'm going to let you into my brain.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
It makes me think of someone walking into Walmart and being like, oh my gosh, these taxes, you're charging me way too much in taxes. And some employee just be like, boom, just destroying the entire Walmart, just gone. Just well, that was the only solution.
That is a solution to the problem.
Blew up the store so no one could complain about the taxes anymore. It's but
No, but before they do that, they raid all the cash registers, run out the store, and then blow up the store.
And be like, I was just saving money and everything for you people, for you guys. I was doing it for you. Don't think it was for me.
This feels so childish. This feels like something an 8-year-old would do. And that, I think, is what frustrates me about NFTs is these people they talk a big game while they're making money, but then when they get any sort of backlash, they regress to acting like children. And again, I don't think NFTs specifically cause this. I think any large sum of money causes people to act like this. It just happens to be NFTs.
Yeah.
I think what frustrates me about NFTs is everybody's acting like they're the greatest thing since sliced bread when we see crap like this keep happening.
I think it's almost like I said a couple times ago. It's the gold rush. We're hopping in this gold rush of just everything is.
And I think that there are some NFTs that are somewhat worth it, not to the levels of like the hundreds of thousands of dollars that people are paying.
Right.
But like the idea of owning digital property, that's been around for a while. That's essentially microtransactions.
$1.
Yeah,
like you'd get the little. It's like a little code on. I think it was honeycombs.
Oh yeah, it was for the Millsbury online game.
Yeah,
I used to play that.
I played that too, and you'd get money, you'd play games, you'd deck out your little house, and whoever had the coolest house. I remember trying to get a pool,
and you could always, and that was real money. But you were spending $5 on a box of cereal, not $500,000 on a picture of an ape that looks like it's a mutant.
Right. So it's like gotta bring it back down to earth a little bit.
Also,
we all grew up and we don't all have money. A few people have money.
We have more money than we did before.
Do I?
I mean, I have more money than I did when I was 12. I couldn't pay rent when I was 12.
Again, do I?
I found out something the other day, and this is a completely different tangent, and then we got to move on. Apparently, when you buy an NFT, you aren't actually buying the rights to the file. You're buying the rights to the URL that links to that file. Yeah. So once you buy an NFT, someone could change the file that link leads to, and like you're technically abiding by the contract. So like I could buy an NFT for like a really, really cool player icon. Like, I don't know, let's just say it was an original art piece that I really liked, and I could buy it, and then I buy it, and then immediately after I buy it, they go in and they just put up like a blank JPEG or like a QR code or something.
Or like a middle finger.
Yeah, actually, yes. Yeah. That is technically, from what I understand of NFTs, legal.
Well,
the more I learn about NFTs, the stupider they seem.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I don't know.
What is happening?
That whole world.
What is happening right now?
Like crypto is one thing. NFTs is a whole nother thing. Like
I thought crypto was weird. I thought crypto was stupid. Crypto seems like a good idea now. Like if Wes of a year and a half ago had heard me say that, I would have slapped myself in the face.
Well, because they're actually trying to do stuff. Like Cardano's really trying to actually make something happen. Anyway, we got to move on.
Yes.
We're not a crypto podcast. We're a gaming podcast.
Yeah.
It's
and also, why would you corrupt Minecraft like this?
I know.
Minecraft is such an innocent and pure. Well, it was such an innocent and pure game, and then things happened. But it's still it's like if Lego. It's like if somebody did this with Lego. Like Lego is such like a childlike, fun thing, and it just makes me sad.
You could call it the Margoverse.
The Margoverse?
Yeah. Instead of Lego, you just say Margo.
I don't know why I thought of Margot Robbie when you said that. And I was
she could be the face of the coin.
She could.
Anyway.
Yikes.
Oh, man.
Okay. All right.
So, moving on to some actually, in my opinion, exciting news. Blizzard announced brand new survival game set in a new universe. A place full of heroes we have yet to meet, stories yet to be told, and adventures yet to be lived. This is by, oh my gosh, I hate names. Michael McWhirter.
Michael McWhirter?
McWhirter. It's by Mike. Mike wrote this article.
You really tried doing a Scottish accent on
I don't know why. I just went there.
Well, McWhirter is like a Scottish name. I just think it's funny that you really went for it. It was very fun.
It was whoop. Anyway, the article says Blizzard Entertainment, the home of StarCraft, World of Warcraft, Diablo, and Overwatch, is making a brand new survival game for PC and console. The developer announced on Tuesday. Oh, that's what the developer announced on Tuesday. Gosh. The untitled survival game will be set in an all-new universe unrelated to Blizzard's existing fantasy and sci-fi properties. Blizzard's survival game was revealed in the form of a developer recruitment news item on the company's website. Here's how Blizzard describes its new game. Blizzard is embarking on our next quest. We are on a journey to a whole new universe, home to brand new survival game for PC and console. A place full of heroes we have yet to meet, stories we have yet to be told, and adventures we have yet to be lived. A vast realm of possibilities waiting to be explored. The article goes on to say the announcement is accompanied by 2 pieces of artwork, one that shows what appears to be an axe-wielding ranger wearing an animal skull-shaped helmet and light armor crouching in a forest. She appears to be tracking a series of colorful footprints, and a window or mirror across from her appears to show a portal to another more modern world. The other piece of artwork shows something of the inverse, a pair of teenagers in the modern-day city environment stumbling upon a fantasy world complete with a floating castle in the distance. That
sounds really cool.
Is really exciting.
Looks like a link between like a modern world and like a fantasy world.
Right. And we'll definitely like I said, we'll link this. We linked our articles in the descriptions and everything like that. But I don't know. Like that I was curious of how far along in advancement it was, but when I read farther in the article, it says shortly after the news was posted, Blizzard Entertainment head Mike Ybarra said on Twitter, "I've played many hours of this project with the team, and I'm incredibly excited about the team's vision and the brand new world it presents for players to immerse themselves in together." So, to me, it sounds like it's a multiplayer experience.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's a co-op, not a massive online game.
Yeah, kind of like Anacrusis, which we still need to try.
We do need to try it. But a survival game, like, I don't know. It gets me really hyped. I don't know. It says it's also Blizzard's first foray in the survival genre, popularized by games like Minecraft, DayZ, Don't Starve, and Rust. So I'm hoping it's less like a Rust and more like a Minecraft in the terms of Rust is like it's like Conan Exiles, right?
Yeah,
so
I've seen some gameplay. You get a lot of
people in the same server and all these things. Whereas Minecraft, you can do that, but you can also make it like very localized, if that makes sense. Like just 4 friends doing your thing. Like that's what I want this to have. So I don't know. I'm excited. Also, knowing that Blizzard's bought by Microsoft now.
Well, not yet. They're still going through it.
Right. If that all comes to fruition, we can expect this on Game Pass.
Maybe.
I mean,
could be.
I would assume
I would say it's probably likely.
I would assume pretty much everything that Xbox does, they are if they own it, it's on Game Pass.
Yeah.
They've already said they day and date games are coming to Game Pass. So again, that's assumptions, but no matter what, I think that Blizzard coming out with a brand new IP is going to be really exciting.
Yeah, it looks interesting. Like
it's
I think if they can, I mean, we literally know nothing, but I like co-op games. I think especially with them partnering with Xbox. Xbox has kind of always been the like multiplayer console. PlayStation has always been the single player cinematic experience game console. Xbox has always been the online multiplayer. I would say that Nintendo has actually usually succeeded in the couch multiplayer. Well, with Mario Party, Mario Kart, Smash Brothers, like that, Nintendo has kind of always ruled that couch multiplayer space. But as far as online multiplayer, it's pretty much always been Xbox.
Right.
PlayStation never quite reached that. Not that PlayStation hasn't like done well. Obviously, we used to play online over PlayStation, but it's never reached the level that Xbox has online. So, and now that you can play cloud gaming online with other people, it's just insane.
Yeah, I'm hyped for this. Like,
yeah,
I know we have a few more things to talk about, but I want to kind of, I love speculation. I love dreaming. I love building the hype train. I love doing those things. That's what I love. I almost love the anticipation of things like Cyberpunk 2077. Well, I mean, I think everyone liked the hype more than the game itself. But
Yikes.
You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when oh gosh, Johnny Silverhand, when he kneels down and he's like, "Get up, samurai," and it's I I'm forgetting all
I
these
have
names.
no idea what you're talking about.
Keanu Reeves.
Oh, Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, when it's Keanu Reeves, I was like, no way, like what the heck? And then Keanu walks out on stage and gives the presentation. I mean, that was like the highlight of the year for me in video games. Like,
it was
so cool.
The sad thing is though, his role in the SpongeBob movie is probably more iconic than his role in Cyberpunk as a tumbleweed. What is it? Sage the tumbleweed.
Sage the tumbleweed. Yeah.
That's probably what more people know about him from that year than other than that and the breathtaking meme.
Well, yep, and the breathtaking was from on stage at Cyberpunk. So,
but again, his presentation was better known than his performance in the game.
True. But it's just that's what I'm saying though. Like the hype for it is what I'm all about. So that being said,
this is going to be great until it comes out, everybody.
Gosh, I hope it's as good as this art makes it look. Like this art looks fantastic. So what would you say? I mean, I'm thinking more of like a D&D looking type of world. Like I would hope it'd be more like that. Not saying like, okay, like top down type view where you click where you want to move your guy and then you roll the dice or flip a card or whatever. I'm not saying that, but just
as far as like art style goes, I don't know though. I mean, like obviously the picture of the Ranger looks very D&D-esque, but then you've got the picture of the two modern day teenagers and like the floating castle. It honestly looks more Studio Ghibli to me. Like a little bit more of that level of, now granted, again, we have two pieces of artwork.
And so they do look different, like very different.
Yeah, they do. So I honestly think it's kind of hard to speculate.
I would like, if I could just, from these two pictures, and again, this is what I love doing, these things. If I could just like put up a thing up there to say like, this is what I think would be really cool. I would say a mix between Skyrim, like a Skyrim level of detail and quest line and all that stuff, co-op, mixed with kind of a look style or art style of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Oh, actually, yeah.
That would be really cool. I think
kind of that cel-shaded,
right,
much more focused on nature.
Right.
I want to play Breath of the Wild again. Sorry, I bought it a while ago, and I've been wanting to get back into it.
Well, it's a good game, and like that's what I think would be really cool is like co-op. You have all these quest lines, just like, and it's very in depth in terms of like your characters and things like that.
Yeah.
But then you have that cool looking art style of Breath of the Wild. I don't know. That would be so cool to me. I'm excited for this game, and I don't even know what the heck it is. It's literally called like the unofficial official title is unannounced survival game. Like that's what people are saying. That's how you refer to this. It's like, okay, well, you could have been a little more creative, but I get it. So yeah, I'm excited for it. Again, I get really up and over the edge when it comes to these types of games because this is my genre. This is my thing.
That survival. Yeah, no, definitely. It's why you like Milsims, that whole survival aspect.
Right. So, I like DayZ. Rust I wasn't a big fan of that. Like, but the Forest, I like that game. That's a really fun game. Yeah. I mean, just, I don't know. All that type of stuff to me is a blast. Moving on to another talking about more games coming out or in development, all that stuff like that. Comicbook.com by Logan Moore says, ooh, I love the name. See, that's a good name. It's an easy name. I can pronounce the name.
Can you not call names that are easy for you to pronounce good names? Can we just call them easy to pronounce names?
They're better names.
I don't know. I don't like the idea that just because I cannot pronounce a name means it's bad. That doesn't sit right with me. I'm sorry. I'm going to call you out on that one. But yes, Logan Moore is a much easier to pronounce name. We could say that objectively.
So it says 3 new Star Wars games in development at Respawn. Jedi Fallen Order sequel confirmed. Did you play the original Jedi Fallen Order?
I have never played a Star Wars game other than Lego Star Wars.
Well, that's a good one to play, I will say.
I'm trying to think. I think I played a little bit of the Clone Wars game that came out for the Wii, which was not good. Jedi Fallen Order. Yeah, I've never played. My sister has been playing Fallen Order. She bought it for her PS4 a while back, but I've never played it. So I have no clue. You're gonna have to fill me in on this one.
Okay.
I did buy KOTOR on the Xbox Series S.
Oh,
I haven't
really?
played it yet because my backlog is too big.
It's definitely hard to get back into. Like, it's one of those games where if you missed it, you can definitely hop back in, but
I have it
the
now.
graphics are interesting.
See, I actually, this is going to sound like a huge hypocritical statement to anybody on Geeks Under Grace because I was crapping on the graphics of Pokemon Legends Arceus, but I honestly don't really care about graphics that much. I really don't. I get upset when I feel like a company can do better, which is why I was criticizing Arceus because we've seen better stuff from Nintendo and it didn't look that great to me. But like especially if it's a game that came out in like, when did KOTOR come out? 2003? It's for the original Xbox. So
right.
It was like early 2000s. So when it comes out in that era, I'm more forgiving because I'm like, it's a product of its era. And if it's fun to play, it doesn't really matter. If it comes out now and it looks like that, then I have a problem.
Well, did you see the thing? My wife sent it to me. It was a picture and it said video games actually did look better
on your CRT. Yes.
Yeah.
That's why so many emulators have a CRT filter option, including like official emulators.
Because they did look a lot better when you actually have the blocks like individual rather than just the weird color morphing crap.
Pixel art looks weird when it's done crisp. Some pixel art looks good. So I was actually playing with this last night. I have an SNES Mini. I was playing Earthbound. And I have been playing on the Pixel Perfect filter for the longest time. I actually like the way Mario World looks in the Pixel Perfect. But I swapped it over to the CRT filter just to see, and Earthbound looks better. It kind of smooths out the colors a little bit more. It makes everything look just a little bit more. It does mute the colors a little bit more, but
because that's what it was really built for.
Yeah, they made it with that in mind.
So anyway, just want to throw that out there.
Yeah.
But the article says Electronic Arts and Lucasfilms Games announced today that developer Respawn Entertainment is now working on 3 new video games associated with the Star Wars IP. Of these 3 new titles, a sequel of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order has now been confirmed to be in the works in formal capacity after years of rumors about the game had circulated. To go along with the Fallen Order sequel, Respawn will also be making a new title in a genre it is quite familiar with, while also working with an outside company to make a Star Wars game. Wait. Pause.
Yeah, that's
while also working
weirded.
with an outside company to make a Star Wars game should be quite different.
That's really worded
it is.
Strangely.
Anyway, detailed on EA's website today, it confirmed that the sequel to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is in the works at this very moment, just like the original game. Stig Asmussen, right?
What?
Stig Asmussen?
Stig Asmussen. Yeah. Okay.
I just...
Again.
It reminded
just because
me,
it's hard to pronounce doesn't mean it's a bad name.
I get it.
But yes.
But it reminded me of Brian Regan when he was talking about being in school and he was young and he's like, and I didn't know how to talk. He's like, so I'd be like, and he's like, the teacher would call me and be like, what makes something a vowel? He goes, when you have an S after it. And he's like, no. He's like, and he looked at the smart kid and was like, what's the plural for ox? He goes, oxen. And then he looked back and he goes, Brian. He's like, what? And he goes, what's the plural for moose? And he goes, moosin. And so then I thought, Stig Asmussen. And I was like, so that just went through my head. Anyway, it's serving I'm all over the place.
What is happening?
Stig Asmussen is serving as the project's director once again, meaning that much of the team that worked
Asmussen.
Asmussen?
I just looked it up.
Okay, cool. Asmussen. Meaning that much of the team that worked on the very first entry is likely returning here. In addition to this, director Peter Hirschman is said to also be helming a Star Wars first-person shooter game. That sounds awesome. Details on this project are very sparse at the moment, but the FPS genre is one that Respawn has quite a bit of experience with, thanks to games like Titanfall and Apex Legends. As such, it makes sense that the studio would be tapped to work on a game in this style. And then EA posted on Twitter, we're excited to announce 3 new Star Wars games officially in the works from Respawn. Read more and pass on what you've learned. So I'm excited. I'm not super excited for the whole second Jedi Fallen Order. I
never played the original.
I started. It wasn't my thing. I didn't really care for The Force Awakens too much, like those games.
I think I played a couple stages on my cousin's PSP, the PSP version.
Oh, got you.
And I remember
I had the Wii version.
Okay. Well,
but
I remember liking it to a certain extent. Like it wasn't amazing. I I don't love games that are kind of that like dark and edgy sort of style.
Right.
And that definitely was going for the dark and edgy style.
I want a Star Wars game that's rated M for mature.
Interesting.
I want to be able to use my lightsaber and it cut Darth Maul in half. And you see him get cut in half. Like, I want that type of game. Like, but here's the thing. You wouldn't really have blood necessarily in that because it cauterizes
the
as it
wounds.
cuts. But that would just be a really cool game to me. Like, to be able to make something really, like, exactly what you don't like, edgy and going dark, but you can either choose to bring the light into it or go away. Like, kind of like what they're doing with KOTOR. Like, if they would actually fully commit to making that, like, make it for the adult audience, the people that played the original, like the ones that were playing that, to not cater towards kids. You can cater towards kids with Jedi Fallen Order and more your teenager on that. But
I was
then
gonna
you have
say,
Lego
it's not
Star
kids.
Wars, so kids for Lego Star Wars, teens with your Jedi Fallen Order. Now make me a good M game for Star Wars. That'd be awesome.
It's not that I don't like dark and edgy storylines. I don't like it when that feels like that was the design philosophy, was just dark and edgy, because generally it means that the art style is kind of bland.
Right.
It means that the characters don't emote. It means that the story is just like, it means Shadow the Hedgehog, Josh. That is what the dark and edgy design philosophy speaks to me, is just your character going, who am I? And then randomly swearing in an E10 game all the time. It was the weirdest thing. There is an official Sonic game where they swear every time the main character gets hit. And I'm like, what is happening? So that is what the dark and edgy philosophy is to me. It is a muted color scheme with a character with no emotions other than angst.
I want it to be good. Like,
Yeah,
but
like I think you can do dark and edgy in like a good and engaging way with a really beautiful art style and with characters that actually have more emotions other than angst, but it oftentimes goes the other direction.
I think it'd be cool to like make you the bad guy, but the game as you go along makes you hate yourself so much that you choose to be good. Like,
I thought you were going to end that you choose to kill yourself at the end of the game.
Oh gosh, no.
Dark and edgy.
Like, I'm saying, like, the game makes you like, say it opens up and you're on the Death Star and you have to hit the button and you have to destroy the world, right?
Gotcha.
And you're like, okay, well, that's not too hard. Like, it's a game. We just got in. No real connection. Hit the button, right? Then that's the only thing you do. You hit the button. You see the thing explode. Then it switches. And it's like, 5 weeks later, and you go through those 5 weeks making really good, like, not necessarily friends, but like you get connected to that planet, to those people. And then it gets back to where you're on the ship and you hit the button in a cutscene because you had to hit it in the first thing. And then you're like, crap, I hit myself for that. But just like those things where you have to be the bad guy.
It's like the cutie death scene in It Takes Two.
Right.
Gosh, when Michaela and I got to that point, we were like, what is happening? And it plays like this demented like music box music as you're dragging her to the edge. Dude, it was traumatic.
Yeah.
It was scarring.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you make it to where like you're the bad guy so much. And then towards the end, it starts giving you choices to where you're like, I don't want to be bad anymore. Like, I've been so bad. I just want to be good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I can see that.
So I'm really excited for where games are going. Games, I feel like we always almost look to the next year of video games like, oh, can't wait for that. And we forget about what's happening this year. So there are a lot of good games coming out this year. We're not going to talk about it today because we ran out of time. But
yeah,
games are just in a good spot. Xbox is in a good spot. PlayStation, don't know what you're doing, but I'm assuming.
I think games are in a good spot for now, but I think if this NFT garbage keeps going where it's going, we're not going to be in a good spot because they're going to keep charging us for stuff.
And we'll be fine.
Yep.
Possibly.
We're going to be okay.
That's how I live my life. Just, it'll be fine.
That reminds me
Is
of
what it is.
I have been following, I don't have a TikTok, but I follow B. Dylan Hollis on YouTube where he posts his TikToks. And he's a guy that like cooks old vintage recipes from like the Great Depression and throughout. And one time he made a Depression era recipe that was cracker fritters. And it was like saltine cracker pancakes. And it started with having to like crunch up a bunch of crackers and soak them in water and then fry them. And he's like, as he's straining the ground cookies, he's like, just imagine cooking this and telling yourself everything's going to be okay. And I'm like, that's kind of how I feel a little bit sometimes.
That's how I feel about my life. Oh, man.
That's a depressing way to end. Sorry, everybody.
Well, what's not depressing is all the people watching.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
We appreciate you. You guys make this fun. And, you know, even if you weren't watching, it'd still be fun. You still matter because you make it more fun. But
even if you weren't, it would still be fun. So it doesn't matter. No, that's not what we're saying.
All that matters is my happiness. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us and for listening to us ramble on. Not being able to pronounce names. Mainly me, not being able to pronounce names.
There have been a couple that I've had a hard time with too.
But it's always a blast coming on here every single Thursday, being able to talk with you guys and just talk about games and coffee and kind of get away from everything that's happening outside of this little studio.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for giving us that opportunity. Really appreciate it. For all you that donate, subscribe, like, comment, leave us reviews. It really means a lot. So thank you guys. Buy yourself some gosh darn coffee. Just words are hard today.
What on earth just happened?
I don't know. Anyway, thank you guys. Play lots of games, drink lots of coffee, watch lots of football. Speaking of football, excited for the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. When is that happening?
Bengals and the Rams.
Let's go. The Chiefs did not make it. I saw my parents were watching the Chiefs game, and then I didn't stay to see the end.
They lost in overtime because Patrick Mahomes threw an interception.
Oof.
And then the Bengals kicker, I guarantee you, he said, we're going to the Super Bowl, and then went out and made his kick. Because that's what he did. He went out on the field. He needed a game-winning field goal. He looked at his coach and said, Coach, we're going to the AFC Championship. High-fived him, ran out there before he made the kick.
Yikes.
Kicked it, sent him to the AFC Championship. Did the same thing for going to the Super Bowl to win the AFC Championship. I'm like, he had to have been like, Coach, we're going to the Super Bowl. Ran out, boom, kicked that ball through. Kickers are still needed. Let's go. Anyway.
We'll see you guys next week.
Have a good one.